Back speaking with Adam Jones and Andrew Haythorpe this morning from ECR. Andrew, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Andrew.
Yeah, morning. Adam, look, firstly, you're on site this morning here at Lolworth. Give us a bit of a recap, recent work programs, what you're focusing on currently.
Yeah, so we've just finished up at Hurricane doing a few rock chips there. Now we've come another 500 kilometres south down to our Lolworth tenement. I'm just here to do follow-up work, look at some of the follow-up from the stream sediment pan concentrate sampling we've been doing. More just walking the ridge lines, looking for stuff to rock chip, looking for some potential place to put some soil grids in, because we're sort of getting to the stage now where we really want to be starting to get some drill targets in. So so I'm sort of just trying to prioritize which ones we want to focus on and whatnot, and that's my main goal this week while I'm out here.
And gold are the key focus at the moment.
Yeah, that's correct. So we're just down in the sort of middle or the southern part of our tenement package here in Lolworth, which is mainly gold. We haven't found any Nobian tantalum down this area, so we're just focusing on gold. Just looking at outcrops, rock chips. Our other two fieldies are still currently following up on some of the stream sed data, which will be getting announced very shortly.
Well, just on that then, Adam, in terms of upcoming news and milestones from Lolworth, what can we expect?
So we've got some more stream sed data coming in. A lot of this is actually really getting close to those ridge lines now, and following up on that sort of work. And we'll probably have 100 or so rock chips as well going into the lab next week. So probably sort of later in the month we'll have some results for the Lolworth.
But narrowing in, you feel, on some potential drill targets at Lolworth.
Yeah, so we've got, I don't know, about 4 main prospect targets we're looking at. And really, I'm just walking those ridge lines at the moment just to get a feel of where we can put soil grids over and whatnot. And just really try and get some work done before the wet season, kicks us out of the area, which would probably be around December this year.
Well, Andrew, we've talked previously about the potential at Lolworth. What's your view on how things are taking shape and developing here?
Oh, it's very encouraging, to move from stream sediment sampling, which is clearly, as we did earlier this year, confirm previous results. So the results were real. And then for Adam and the guys to have identified at least 4 areas to sort of focus on, in terms of walking around the actual ground itself and having a look with a view to soil gridding. And then, of course, after soil gridding, hopefully you get some rock chips amongst that work as well and see some things that are encouraging. And then it's more a matter of starting to line up the drill rig and off we go. And sort of with the amount of gold and the widespread nature of the gold that's been recorded by previous and in turn us, there's lots of opportunity up there.
Adam, you've spent the last couple of weeks at Hurricane, as you said a bit earlier, taking some rock chips. A number of samples now in the lab. How are they looking?
Yeah, so there's 349 samples exactly in the lab. The first 2 batches, which is some 200 or so of them, they are currently being processed right now in the lab. The last batch will probably be started this week. So the results for those first 2 batches, I expect them to be back in by the end of next week or something like that. The focus of Hurricane will be and antimony. It was actually it was a very big task to get out there and get up those mountain ridges up there, and 33 to 35 degrees every day, so you have to get acclimatized to it, especially at this time of year. But yeah, the project looks really good. The outcrop was quite easy to see. We followed up a lot of those LiDAR targets to see if something was there or not. We actually rock chipped a lot of areas that had never been done before or had been missed. So because we're looking at the old database, and there's places there and veins there which weren't even sampled, so or being missed for some reason or another. So we've got all that information and actually to see the outcome of those results.
And without preempting the results from those assays, what would be the next steps here at Hurricane?
So geologically, it would be just doing a brief evaluation of the size potential of these veins. We've GPS the outcrops, so we know the broad extent on the surface of where some of these are. So we can get an idea of potentially what's there, and an upside to what's the best places to drill. We have to work out more about the drilling access. We've the work I've done the last couple of weeks up here, we've identified further prospects. And so that's going to, now the decision is, do we put more time into, planning more drilling access and, getting more bang for our buck, so to speak. You don't want to half drill the place, and because it's quite remote. So we want to make sure that, where's the time better spent. So, yeah.
Andrew, many investors also are aware we've got Blue Mountain within the portfolio. Given markets, given resources, haven't managed to reach or get to that just yet, but still on the priority list. Just give us a quick recap on that project.
Oh, the recap's quite simple. Similar to Lolworth, there's a lot of visible gold shedding in the drainage in that area. There's been a couple of mentions of small occurrences of gold in hard rock, but they've never really been followed up or drilled to our knowledge, from what we've seen so far from previous work. So the opportunity really is simply, like at Lolworth, is following up previous exploration that's identified gold, and see if we can find the primary source and what does that look like? What's the size, tonnage, and grade?
Of course, in your previous role as a gold analyst, Andrew, what we're seeing at the moment, this big disconnect between gold equities, the gold price. What's your view on the state of the markets?
Oh, it's a massive disconnect. And normally being for the last 30 or 40 years, you have gold equities trading. If you do all the maths and all of the estimates and so on and so forth, you'll find that gold equities normally trade at a price greater than spot price of gold, and that sort of reflects the optionality or the potential for junior companies in particular to go and find significant gold value and gold ounces, which then drives the value of the gold company, beyond simple gold price appreciation. This disconnect that's going on now is, it's extraordinary because gold equities are so cheap, like ridiculously discounted against 2000, nearly 2000 US an ounce gold price. And if you look at what's taken gold from $400 an ounce to $2,000 an ounce over the last 20 or 30 years, those trends are going to continue. So you sort of know that gold price year on year over the next 20 years is going to keep going up. Therefore, any company that has gold should appreciate in value. And any company, of course, that finds a whole lot of gold fresh or a new discovery should do much better than just simple appreciation reflecting inverse inflation almost. There's the only explanation is we're in a period of time, between the UK and Australia and perhaps Canada as well, where cost of living is really impacting people's ability to invest in junior gold explorers or junior company explorers generally. And then, there's some patches, some sweet spots, if you like, in lithium in particular, that have broken away from that negative trend over the last 2 years. But the vast majority of junior companies have really been punished severely in the last 2 years.
Well, Andrew, look, the fundamentals over the last 6, 12, 18 months at ECR, they haven't changed. If anything, these projects have been further developed and advanced. Given the weak ECR share price, what's the opportunity that you see for investors now?
Well, I think general observation is this share market or the current market environment is as bad as it's ever been, if not worse. And it's certainly extremely severe on the junior resource stocks. So this is as bad as was in, sort of post-Bre-X era back in 1998, 99, 2000. And of course, what then came along was a dot-com boom that sort of gave investors rewards as junior resource companies became dot-com companies in 2000. And then, of course, the dot-com bubble burst in 2000. And then 2 years later, you had junior resource companies with no dot-com and no gold or no resources looking to get back into mining or exploration. Now, in that environment, back in 2002, that was the time when you could buy literally millions of shares for next to nothing, which, essentially ECR share prices back at the next to nothing level where you could buy millions of shares. And a 2-year view or 3-year view was extremely rewarding, because that bearish sentiment then, of course, corrected itself back to a neutral or boom sort of sentiment. And fortunes were made in that sort of 2002 to 2006 period. So generally speaking, and, the same for 1987 crash, 88, 89, it come through to 1991, 92, 93, it was very bearish. And then it picked up, and, small gold companies went from 2 cents and 4 cents to $2 and $4. And there was a lot of them. It wasn't just one or two. So history repeats itself. And I think we're in that repetition, and now's your opportunity. So certainly from our point of view, or certainly from my perspective, now's the time to try and do deals, or do the best deals that you can do, get as much gold or potential gold as you can, and really build for the future with a 2 to 5 year view.
Andrew, Adam, good to speak. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks, Andrew.